Give black students free tuition as an apology for slavery. When you were a kid and you didn't want to eat your food, did your parents ever say something to the effect of there are starving children in Africa that would love to have that food? Mine did, and I was always in favor of giving it to them, but that's beside the point. The point is, it's a widely known concept that people in Africa, and countries with similar economies, don't have it so great. In some areas the living conditions are so bad, they have resorted to eating dirt, just to have something to put in their stomachs. This is terrible and awful, but still probably not as bad as the slavery that went on in the United States during a dark part of our history. Slaves brought to the U.S. were bought, sold, bred and treated like livestock rather than human beings. However, the light of truth eventually broke through the cloud of tyranny and evil, setting free the slaves, and offering them the rights to life, liberty and the pursuit of happiness, just like the rest of us. Yes, the journey has been slow to overcome prejudice and become someone who is on equal footing with the rest of Americans, but I think it's safe to say that they've arrived. African Americans have had, for some time, the same opportunities as the rest of the country, but to some, that's still not good enough. Via the Blaze. The student government at a Kentucky university voted Tuesday night to recommend that the school make tuition free for all black students. The Student Government Association at Western Kentucky University in Bowling Green, Kentucky, said the measure is a recommendation to pay those students reparations for slavery, even though the U.S. abolished slavery more than 150 years ago. The resolution sends a message to university faculty and administrators that slavery is a debt that will never be paid, according to campus reform. If you really care about diversity, if you really care about inclusion, if you really care about making this campus safe and accessible to everybody, having the student government's support of reparation for black students would be amazing, Student Senator Andrea Ambaum, who co-authored the resolution, told the WKU Herald, the university's student newspaper. There's no doubt we as a society should be ashamed of what happened to the African slaves brought to the United States, but there must be a point where we realize there's little that is negatively affecting those of African descent living here today. Yes, it's a part of their history, but how long is too long to pay for a crime? If those people who were treated so abominably were here today, applying for college, then I would be 100% on board with this plan. Those individuals can never be repaid for the pain and suffering they endured. But they've passed on, hopefully to a better place, and what we are dealing with now is a lethal cocktail of entitlement and white guilt. You're in America with all the rights and privileges that the rest of us have. Isn't asking others to work for no repayment so you can get off scot-free exactly what slave owners did to the Africans who were brought here? Yes, the whips and chains have thankfully been put down, but this is nothing more than a role reversal. The difference is that we put ourselves willingly in this position with only our own guilt, others' harsh words and shaming glares to put us in our subservient position.